Hello, everyone. Today we have with us Navodini Wijethilake, who is currently a PhD student at King's College, London. She received a Medical Research Council doctoral studentship, which is a very competitive studentship program for students who are interested in biomedical science-related research. Currently, she is working on developing an AI-powered biomarker for an internal ear tumor known as vestibular schwannoma. She completed her undergraduate studies in biomedical engineering at University of Moratuwa from Sri Lanka, and she also has experience working at international labs in National University of Singapore as well as Harvard University as a research assistant. Hi, Navadini. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello, Mohammed. Thanks for having me for this session.
Yeah, so I have a few questions for you. So I'll just start with those. So when you look at your undergraduate studies and when you were a student, what were the main challenges that you faced as a biomedical engineering student working within the like a study environment?
Uh, so I chose biomedical engineering at the in my first year of engineering program, and I wanted to do biomedical engineering because that is a field where I can work for the betterment of human lives. So the main one of the main challenges was we don't have a really good biomedical engineering industry in Sri Lanka, and there are not much research opportunities when it comes to resources and many more. So those were a huge challenge for me, and also when it comes to medical devices and all, we don't have the latest technologies available in Sri Lanka. So because of that, I I found like we were lot restrained, and I wanted to explore new technologies and to see what the world is doing. So yeah, so that was a main challenge, I'd say.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing those. So how did you overcome these challenges as a student?
So, in the third year of my undergraduate program, we were supposed to go for our internships, and I thought maybe why not go to see what happens in the outside world, and I went for a foreign internship, and I did my internship at the National University of Singapore in
Mhm.
medical mechatronics lab, where I got to work with amazing group of people who taught me from the very first step to the last step of research, from data collection to publication of research. So I think I overcame the challenge of not having resources in Sri Lanka by getting exposure to research world by doing a foreign internship. I think it was a turning point of my research career, of my whole career, of doing an internship. And I think I also found what I'm passionate about, like what areas I can contribute, where I
Mhm.
got the opportunity to work on a glioblastoma related research of predicting the survival of glioblastoma research, which led
Mhm.
me to my PhD research, I think. So my PhD research is also very similar, where I work on a different kind of tumor, which is less malignant compared to
Mhm.
glioblastoma.
Mhm.
So the tumor I'm working on, it's a benign tumor.
Mhm.
So I mainly work on growth of the tumor at the
Mhm.
moment, but still
Mhm.
it's focusing on developing like making the life of cancer patients better. Yeah.
Oh, great! Thank you so much for sharing your story about how you overcome those challenges. So, looking at your research, like when you were as a research assistant working in Singapore and in Harvard University, what was the point when you said like, okay, I really need to do a PhD in this subject? Like, what really motivated you or excited you about research, and that what is the thing that led you to your PhD studies right now?
Yeah, so as I said, I did my internship and then on glioblastoma, and then I worked on a collaborative research with Harvard for my final year project. and there I worked on optical images, microscopic images, and I thought, yeah, I'm more passionate about this research area where I get to
Hmm.
work on cancer related research,
Yeah.
and I thought it's a good area for me to explore for my PhD as well. And then I searched where I can find the best environment for me to do my PhD. And I thought the multidisciplinary research environment at King's, especially I think the collaborations with industry and with clinicians, and the how they always focus on applying the research in clinical practice made me choose to do the PhD in King's College London. And
Mhm.
at the same time, I'd say there are lots of opportunities, as I mentioned, the industrial opportunities.
Yeah.
So I think that really uh, made me do my PhD in this research area at
Mm.
this institute. My experience and the collaborations with the clinicians and the industry.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing the insight. I'm sure that's very useful for other students. So, being an international student in at KCL and within UK, what do you think are the main challenges that an international student faces, and what are some of your advice about those challenges, like for students?
Yeah, so when it comes to international students in UK and even in other Western countries, I think there are less opportunities for international students, and the studentships. It's really hard to secure a studentship in UK in a really good college, especially a direct PhD opportunity. And I think the other thing is, even though you don't have a studentship, like the tuition fees are really high for international students. I
Mhm.
think those are really big challenges for international students. And other than that, I'd say as a student, as a female student working on a STEM field in engineering, I'd say it was a challenge too, because most of the times when it comes to research, uh, engineering research, there are more men working uh, in engineering field. So I think that was also a challenge for me to prove that yes, I can contribute to the research in this institute. So I think, yeah, those were big challenges.
Yeah, thank you so much. These are very insightful um, uh, advice from you. So, going further with this, if there is a bunch of students who are working and they're really interested in career in science, what would your advice be for them? What can they concentrate on now so that they can succeed as you did in your career path?
I think first thing is, like, I think most of the young generations, they're focusing learning lots of theoretical subjects. I think it's really important to learn the theory,
Yeah.
but I think at the same time they have to learn how they are going to apply this theory in research or in other projects. So I think uh, they can explore different research topics and see what they are really passionate about at the same time while
Mhm.
applying their theoretical knowledge, and that will really lead them to career wise in research or in industry. That will really lead them to new opportunities and adventurous opportunities, I'd say. And other than that, I think when it comes to youngsters, I think it's really good for them to work with groups who are really helpful, and also it's good to find the mentors or advisors who can really guide you to achieve your goal. So I'd say always find the best people, always
Mhm.
get the best people around you, and at the same time work on more research.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And in particular, if someone is looking into medical imaging, I know there has been a lot of progress in the recent years, especially with AI in medical imaging. Do you still think there is potential for students or new starters who are looking into AI? Is there still scope for further research or ideas?
I think, yeah, there's a lot to improve. So when it comes to medical research, I think still we haven't achieved in most of the areas, in most of the research topics, we haven't achieved the accuracy or the precision which a human expert, which can be a neurosurgeon or a radiologist or any other expert, we haven't achieved that accuracy yet with AI tools or other medical related research. We haven't achieved that there yet, that point yet. So I think still, yeah, there's a lot of room to improve. So I'd say, and other than that, when it comes to research, AI research, it's a complete black box. So why not? There are other domains where they really where they really learn what are the what are the improvements they can make, like focusing on explainability or robustness and causality, to overcome this black box, or to come out of this black box of AI. So I think, yeah, I think youngsters, they can work on newbies can work on such topics, and from other domains, and apply to medical imaging research, and and come up with new ways of solving the issues we have current in the state of art research.
Oh, so thank you so much. That's very insightful, and I'm sure that's very helpful for students looking into a career in science. So those are all the questions I have for you today. I would like to thank you for your time and for your very helpful advice for younger students.
Mohammed, thanks a lot again for having me for this session.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was really glad to help other people with my experience, I think.